I like to dedicate this to all of the Creator's righteous children. I have some food in my bag for you. Not that edible food, that food you eat. No, I have some food for thought. Since knowledge is infinite, it has infinitely fell on me.
Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on indigos and indigo kids. Now, what are indigo kids? Well, if you watched my spirituality video that I did, then you heard me talk about them a little bit in that video, but here's a bigger explanation to what indigo kids are and who indigos are. So I'm going to give you a definition of what they say indigo kids are, and then I will go into an explanation of how I feel about indigo kids and what I think they are. So here's a definition of what indigos are. It is said, the definition of an indigo kid is according to a pseudo-scientific New Age concept, are children who are believed to possess special, unusual, and sometimes supernatural traits or abilities. The idea is based on concepts developed in the 1970s by Nancy Ann Tappy and further developed by Jane Tober and Lee Carroll. So, does that really explain what indigo is? I don't know. But the way I think of indigos are that they are kids, adults, teenagers, elderly, and all of the sort who have very special and unique gifts. Those gifts can be anything from seeing spirits to seeing the person aura color to being able to heal people with their spiritual powers, to people that do Reiki, to people that are activists, to people who are journalists, to people that make music, to all of the sort. Because what I think is that indigos came into this world when they are born, and they come with very, very heightened senses, right? And I feel like all of mankind has these heightened senses when they are first born, because they are first coming from the spirit world. And so they come from the spirit world and they just have all of this knowledge still in their head, and they still believe in all of these things. And then they come into earth and they're told all of these things are not true. And they're the ones that still believe them and still have these gifts for the rest of their life. And they're the ones that just go by the wayside and start believing what the people on this earth say, and then they basically don't believe in those things anymore. The ones that still believe in those things and end up having these traits and these special abilities end up having them basically their whole life. I consider myself an indigo, and if you watched my spirituality video, then you'll understand why. But I have special traits and abilities that I'm able to do. Like when I was a kid, I could see spirits, and I still can. I can hear them, and I can tell people's aura colors. And basically, the reason they call them indigo kids is because it's the kids that come to this earth with super heightened senses and that are very sensitive to what's going on in this world. But they're not the only classification of indigos. So there's also, and you can just call them indigos because an indigo child just is a child, right? Or an indigo kid. But just an indigo is anybody from any age range, right? But there's also something that I believe that is a starseed. And what I believe a starseed is that we all came from outer space, basically. And that we all were once a little star. And then we ended up being taken and brought into Earth. And then basically the Creator created us, helped us become into this human form, took our spirits and made us into this human form, and then we decided what family we wanted to be in. Now, take it or leave it, however you believe, but that's just how I believe, personally. And yeah, so I'm going to read you a little bit of my blog post that I did on Indigos, which you can read the whole thing on iceturtlegirl.blog. But here's a little bit of a snippet of what I wrote in that blog, and to help you understand Indigos a little bit better. So, in many indigenous cultures, indigo is a very high vibrational color, and therefore they find indigo kids to be very important. In some cultures, they are up with medicine people, monks, and other spiritual leaders. Also, disclaimer, indigenous people all over the world have always known about indigos, and it wasn't until the 70s that the Western world decided to pick it up. Like everything else, the Western world decides to pick up everything late. But you know, what can you do? Now, I think there has always been so-called indigo kids all throughout history. We are all born with innate spiritual gifts that as little kids are heightened due to us just coming from the spirit world. So we remember a lot of those things we learned, but as we grow older, select people's gifts get stronger and others get weaker. Those that get stronger usually are a lot different than most people. They usually have trouble in school but are super smart in other ways, and usually know what we are learning in school is BS, daydream a lot and drift off into space, might have a hard time focusing or processing things, and could have a mental or learning disability like dyslexia or bipolar, or so they say. Now, the way that I look at that is, I personally have dyslexia, and it is a malfunction with my brain where it's hard for me to read a lot of things and spell things, and I have a hard time writing, and I have a hard time with math and science and like the whole thing, right? But it is said that you having a hard time in school doesn't really mean that you're not smart. It could just mean that you believe in other things that the school system is not teaching you. You understand that what they are teaching you in school is not true because you remember things from different lives that you've had, or different lives in general, and you remember that we are here as spirits in this physical body, that there are different realms in this world, and that there are different dimensions in this world, and that we all come from space. We're starseeds, and that this isn't the first world, and that things like Bigfoot, the Yeti, same thing I guess, fairies, mermaids, all of the sort, little people, that you believe in them and you know that they are real, and you have people that have seen them, and so you believe that they are real, and that you know of these things that are there to help you, and that most people today just put in, because I've learned over the years that if a science fiction or adventure or fantasy writer or movie producer makes a movie about any of those things that I just mentioned, fairies, mermaids, Bigfoot, the little people, any of the sort, that they will put them in those movies, aliens, ghosts, they put them in those movies because they are actually real. And we should pay attention to those science fiction movies, because those are the movies that you should really be aware of, because whatever they're telling you in these movies, most people are like, oh, that's fantasy, it's not real. But really, in the long and short of it, it is. Those things are real 100%. It's just that they hop from different dimensions. So maybe they are in our dimension for a little while, but then they'll go to a different dimension, or they'll go back to space. And you might see them and then they'll be gone. And then people won't believe you when you say you saw aliens, or they won't believe you when you say you saw Bigfoot or you saw the little people. but those are real, 100%. And if you don't believe me, that's fine, but I believe those things are 100% real, okay? Here's a little bit more information on them. So here are different types of indigos, things that indigos might do as like the profession, or different things that they might be really good at. There are many indigos who remember their past lives and are connected to that part of them. These kind of people usually are creative and passionate about the world and pick up some form of art to channel much of their energy into, from photography to canvas art to music making and listening to jewelry making to writing. Okay. Music is like my muse. I love music so much. I listen to so much music all the time. And I will be talking about some of my favorite indigo artists, but music is really helpful, especially for somebody who's sensitive like I am and who's indigo like that. Music can really help. Like, it can really be a great way to just feel better. Because it can be hard to be an indigo. Because when you know so much information and you know so much of what is on this planet Earth is BS in this realm that we are in at this point, then you know that this is BS, right? So knowing that is BS and knowing that there is way more beyond this whole planet, then it can be very hard and stressful to combat all the negativity and fear and frustration and people who don't believe in the things that you know are real. So music can be a really great escape because there are artists out there who understand and know about those things, and it can be really awesome to listen to them and just know that there's somebody else out there that believes in the same things that you do. And also with writing and creative art, it's like really important because like I write because I need to get some of the things that I believe in and things that I think, I need to get them out of my brain and onto something so other people can look at them too and learn things. And I just feel like that's really important, especially for somebody who just knows so much information and knows all of these things. I just think it's really important to just be able to get all of that information out and to let people know that this is not our only realm, this is not the only dimension, and that what you've been told in your life is not true. I will continue. They even might meditate, do yoga, and eat well, or at least care about where their food comes from, wear crystals for protection and balance, or even take long walks in nature. Kids like this will a lot of the time grow up to make music, become writers, photographers, painters, therapists, activists, and even entrepreneurs. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about was meditation. And I love meditation. I just kind of got back into it because I kind of was slacking on my meditation for a long time. But this week, I've been getting into meditation a whole lot. I get up in the morning and I have an altar that I have set up in my room. And I will sit right in front of my altar and I will play a guided meditation, which I will link some guided meditations to this video if you would like to know of some. But I will go and I'll listen to some guided meditations, and I will do it for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and after I come out of that state, I just feel so much better with my whole day. It's totally my day is better and brighter, and I just feel so much happier with everything going on, and I feel more productive, and everything just flows so much better after I meditate. Now, how do you meditate? So the way I meditate is I get a pillow and I sit in front of my altar, and then I take my phone and I will put on a guided meditation, which a good app for that is a good app to get to have is the Stop, Breathe, and Think app, which is a great guided meditation app. You should totally go and download that. It's I think it's there for iPhone, and I'm not sure about Android, but you guys should totally check that out if you need some guided meditation just to get you on the easy path to flowing. I also listen to chants of Om Mani Padme Hum, which is a Tibetan chant, and I love it. It's so calming, it's so soothing, and it's very, very, very peaceful, and it's a great chant to do because it brings a lot of peace and calmness and different things into your life. And also I will listen to Koi Fresco, who is a YouTuber who does videos on spirituality and veganism and how to just live a really spiritually healthy life. And so I will listen to some of his guided meditations that he has, and I'll also link those in the description box below, so you can go check that out and check out his channel. But yeah, meditation is what you make of it, because meditation is for you. It's you doing meditation for yourself. And so there's no real right way of doing it. For me, I will do meditation with a guided meditation with crystals. So I have my quartz crystal, and I'll put it in the palm of my hand, and I will just hold it in my hand while I'm sitting and breathing in and breathing out, and I'll just hold it and hold its power and hold its energy in my hand, and it's really helpful. I also have my clear crystal, my little clear crystal right here, and then I have my black tourmaline crystal, which is really, really great for people who are indigo kids, indigos who can see spirits and see aura colors, or are healers, spiritual healers, or all of the sort. It's really great for protection for that. So shout out to my big brother Hedda. He gave this to me, and yeah, but it's really, really helpful. So I love like meditating with crystals. They're incredible. But yeah, meditation is just what you make it. It's basically a time to just take in all and be still and just think of the now. You know what I mean? To stay in the now and to just help you be one with yourself for a little while before the crazy hectic day ahead of you comes. To just be still and be with yourself, and to just really go inside of yourself and really feel how you're feeling, and to really just tap into yourself and help yourself have a really great day. So I really recommend doing meditation either in the morning or right before you go to bed, just so that you can have a really good sleep or a really good day. It really helps me, and I really, really do recommend meditation as something that you can do. Anybody can do it. You don't have to be an indigo to do meditation. Anybody and their mother can do it. So I really do recommend doing meditation. And yeah, so let's continue. So and this is what the app looks like if you guys want to download it. This is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, it's kind of glarish, but you might have been able to see it, I don't know, but hopefully you did, and that's what you should get, the Stop, Breathe, and Think app. Alright, here's the next little bit. So, back in the day, there were a lot of people who had lots of different mental disabilities, and most of society had no idea how to handle these outbursts people would have. So a lot of them ended up in mental hospitals for no reason and would basically be torn to shreds by the old nuns and doctors who did illegal practices. If you've ever watched American Horror Story Asylum, it's basically like that. A lot of people diagnosed with these illnesses usually were indigos dealing with their abilities, and the general public not knowing how to deal. Okay, that's a big, big thing, alright? Back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, even probably before that, there were these insane asylums, and a lot of different people would end up in those insane asylums, and a lot of them weren't even mentally ill. They were either indigos, dealing with their seeing spirits and having all these gifts and not really knowing how to deal with these extremely heightened senses and all these gifts that were going on. And so then their families probably thought they were loony and put them in the insane asylum, and where they would be tortured, heavily tortured. If you ever watched American Horror Story Asylum, then you know they are tortured so bad. And it's like they would get lobotomies and all this crap, and it was just like terrible for no reason. Like, my mom was reading this book, and basically it was about this lady, and she wasn't mentally ill at all, and she was just going through menopause. Even going through menopause back in the day would freak out some ladies' husbands, and they would put them in mental hospitals, and then the ladies would end up going crazy, and it was just terrible. And then they would just think they're crazy, even though they're not. They're just going through menopause. But it was that serious back then. It was really crazy. It was a crazy time, and it really hasn't changed that much, because when you think about it, there are a lot of kids out there that have ADHD or depression or all of those mental illnesses, right? And they are told by their teachers or by a doctor or whoever that they need to be on ADHD medication or depression medication or this one or that one. But you know what that does, right? It just takes if you're an indigo kid and you're going through all of these things and you can't really control them, your teachers will be like, okay, well, you need to go on ADHD medication, right? But all that does is suppresses these gifts. And as somebody who tried to suppress her gifts for a really long time and then had them come back to her, knows that these gifts are with you for life. They never really leave you. They might not be there as strongly as when you were a kid, but they never actually leave you. And so you will get bursts of them every now and again, right? And that being said, when you take these medications, they basically make you numb. And they make it so you can't even feel all of the things that are going on. And it's actually really not that good for you to do, because then you can't even feel your own senses. You can't really even feel what your gifts are. And it's like, that's not a good thing. So if you're a parent out there and you think that your child has ADHD or something, and you're going to believe the doctor, the hippy dippy, 21st century modern doctor, and put them on ADHD medication, think, is my child indigo? Does my child see spirits? Do they wander off in class? Do they daydream a lot? Do they are they very passionate about creativity? Do they tell you that they see things at night and you don't believe them? Do they say that they've seen little people before, or aliens, or whatever? Have they gone through an alien abduction and you don't believe them? Then they might be an indigo kid, and you might want to believe them and not put them on medication just because you don't believe in these things. It's not a good thing to do, and I think that you need to not do that, because that's not a good parenting way. Believe your child when they tell you that they're seeing spirits. Believe your child when they said they've been abducted by aliens before. Believe your child, because those things are real. Those things are really real. And so I really need more parents to believe their children. And a good show that I talked about in my spirituality video, so I'll only mention it here, but Psychic Kids. Parents, you should go watch that show and watch it with your children. And if they say that they have those symptoms that the kids on the show have, believe them. Please believe them. Okay? All right. Moving on. Let's see. Now, a lot of celebrity kids growing up today consider themselves indigo kids. And one person who is leading, well, two people who are leading the indigo train is Miss Willow Smith herself and her brother Jaden. Her brother Jaden and her were just the Smith kids growing up and were suited to follow in their parents' footsteps and pursue careers in music and movies. Little did anyone know, but these amazingly bright kids who were plotting to take over the world. They started when Willow was about 12 to 13, and she cut off all her hair and started singing songs about self-acceptance, like I Am Me, which is a great song, by the way. I know it's like cute little Willow, but like it's really good, okay? Check it out. Then interviews started to surface of the two, and things that they were talking about would make any mainstream media think they're nuts. In one interview, they started talking about quantum physics, the time-space continuum, and energy, among other things. Willow started to grow out locks and make the most introspective, out-there music you would ever hear from a 15-year-old. Songs like Flowers about coming to Earth as the Greys, and had a line about chemtrails, FQC number 7, about basically being an indigo kid, and in the video she has her 7 chakras all accounted for. She even speaks the Avatar language from the movie, and she just put out a surprise album on Friday. Jaden is very much into science and philosophy, loves discovering new and interesting sounds musically, and has his own record label called Misfits, where all the different young artists are signed, and you can catch him in a dress from time to time. They are both visionaries in their own right, and you could see that from day one. Alright, when your parents are Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, I mean, hello, you're destined for stardom. But the difference between the Smith kids and their parents is Willow and Jaden Smith are indigo kids for life. They really, really are. They are super important in our generation, and they're going to be the change makers who are making this world a better place. I love Willow Smith's music so much. I know a lot of people were like, it wasn't a good album. The Aripithecus, I think is what it's called. I probably butchered it, but I love that album a lot. I really, really do. It is such a great album. Wait a Minute, such a good song. Star, such a good song. Flowers, such a good song. The whole album is such a good album. It's such a good bop, and it really is a spiritual album that really is a testament to the indigo generation of today. And she talks about a lot of different things that most indigos will be able to relate to, but most mainstream people won't, and that's why they didn't understand it. But really, I think that Willow and Jaden are really going to change the future of this planet, and they're really going to bring it and elevate it to a higher plateau. Along with the Smith kids is a rapper. His name is Rory, and he is so good. Really go check him out. He mixes hip hop with like folk music, and it's really cool. And it's a nice blend of both genres, and he considers himself an indigo kid, and he's always carrying around crystals, and he talks about being an indigo kid on his albums, and God's Whisper, Devil's Whisper, Forbidden Knowledge, and Peace Prevail. Such good bops. Go check them out. They're really good, and I really think that him, the Smith kids, and they're really gonna just take us into another channel. Some other ones that I think are really cool and dope are Joey Badass, Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa, let's see who else, Alessia Cara, Shailene Woodley is definitely an indigo. She's been doing a lot that has to do with Standing Rock and been there and been very vital for that, so kudos to you, girl. And she just, the way she believes in things is just so out of this world, and I totally am down with that. 21 Pilots, I definitely believe they are indigos, because a lot of indigos also will have issues with sleeping, and also feel like they're seeing things, and just like having mental issues and all of those different things. And I think that 21 Pilots really taps into that, and so they're definitely indigos in themselves. Who else? Demi Lovato's an indigo, I believe wholeheartedly. Who else is an indigo? Let's see, I have Shailene Woodley I talked about, Rory I talked about, Chance the Rapper, J. Cole, Joey Badass, The Internet, Alessia Cara, Earth Guardians. Okay, Earth Guardians is amazing. It's basically this kid and his brother who started this organization, and it's an environmental organization made solely by kids who are completely passionate about climate change and fixing that in our generation. And it's really, really beautiful to see, because the oldest brother is 15 and the younger brother is, I think, like 12 or 13 at this point. And it's just really, really cute. It's amazing to see the power of change with the youth, because we all know the youth are the truth and the youth are the future, hands down. So it's really, really beautiful to see how passionate they are about helping out Mother Earth in that way. And yeah, they sued the Obama administration, and it's just incredible the things that they are doing. And they are definite indigos. They definitely are super dope, and you definitely need to check them out. Earth Guardians, please go check them out. Who else? Let's see. So here are some YouTubers that I think you should go watch if you are an indigo kid, or if you are interested in spirituality at all. Here are some indigos that I think you should go check out. One of them is Megan Hughes. Megan Hughes I got into because she did a video on positivity, and she was really into the law of attraction. And I won't explain what the law of attraction is here, but you can go watch her video on positivity and get a better idea of it. But she just basically does like lifestyle videos, where she basically talks about positivity, meditation, spirituality, music, fashion, makeup, like all the sort, like everything under the sun, right? And she's just an incredible person. She asks really important questions, and she gets really cool responses from her audience, and she's just a really cool person. Another one is Koi Fresco, who I talked about earlier, who does spirituality videos and videos on being vegan and videos on just general spiritual things. He actually loves to teach people things, so he will talk about a different spiritual topic on his videos, and basically try to get a response from the general public, and it's really, really cool. He has a friend, his name is Dakota Wint. You should go follow him too. He also does spirituality videos. Oh, Infinite Waters. Okay, Infinite Waters. He's a black guy on YouTube, and he does spirituality videos as well as kind of lifestyle videos, where he will take a topic and talk about it from a spiritual point of view. And so he has videos on indigos and what that means, and how to know you are an indigo, and different videos like that. And he's a vegan as well, so he talks about that, and it's really, really cool. One of his famous sayings is, "Breathing in that good ass prana," and it's just like so funny. "Can I get a hello there?" It's really funny. But anyways, his videos are really cool. You should go check them out as well. Yeah, but I just want to give you guys a quick little synopsis of what being an indigo means. A little bit more media that you could probably go check out that are like movies and stuff that are indigo movies, I guess you could say. Are very spiritual and have a lot of spirituality traits in it and indigo traits in them. Star Wars, Yoda is definitely indigo in that movie. He's definitely the wise one from that movie. Topanga from season 1 Boy Meets World was such an indigo. She was really tapping in to another dimension, and it was really beautiful. So definitely season 1 Topanga from Boy Meets World. Rainbow Bright. Okay, can I just talk about Rainbow Bright for 5 seconds? Rainbow Bright was one of the first like cartoon like anime-ish like cartoon/movies I watched growing up, and it was because my sisters were really into it in the 80s, and then when I was born I inherited it, and like my mom had like Rainbow Bright dolls and everything. It was like really big in my house. And I really do think that the reason why I am the way that I am today, and why I just love to help people, and why I just love peace and love and rainbows and all of the sort, is because of Rainbow Bright. Rainbow Bright was probably my first teacher, besides my parents, to really help me into my indigo state. She's basically an indigo, because she basically lives in Rainbow Land with the colored kids and the sprites, and she goes around the earth on Starlight helping people and bringing positivity and light to the world. And she's able to do that with star sprinkles, and she's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful story, and you guys should totally check it out if you are an indigo and you kind of like anime-ish things. Go check it out. But oh my gosh, I love her. She's one of my heroes. She's one of my sheroes, my female heroes, and I really do love Rainbow Bright so much. I owe her so much gratitude for just being one of my first teachers, being one of my first real people to make me not feel so alone. Like, fighting the good fight and bringing light and positivity to the world is a good thing, and I just really am glad that she exists. Another 80s cartoon that's like in the same vein of Rainbow Bright was the Care Bears, and they also were indigos. They were little indigo bears. It was so cute, and basically they lived in Care-a-Lot, where the Care Bears lived, and the Care Bear cousins, and they basically went on to Earth to spread joy and love and peace as well. And it was just like, oh my gosh, like the 80s really knew about indigos and about what that actually means for the world. And I think that that was really a beautiful thing. And I'm so glad that those two cartoons exist. And if you've never watched them, please go watch them. Do not watch the new versions though. Go watch the 80s versions. But yeah, please. Those were wonderful, wonderful shows. Okay. Matilda from Matilda. I really wanted to be Matilda when I was growing up. When I was growing up, I wanted to be Matilda so bad because I wanted to be able to move a spoon with my mind, or just pour water into a cup with my mind, or move a doll from a window with my mind. Like, part of it was like, I just really want to have cool powers like that. And the other part of me was like, I just want to do it because I'm lazy. LOL. But anyways, I just really wanted to do that type of stuff because I thought it was really cool. And I just really wanted to, be able to open my mind and expand my mind in that way. And, when I was growing up, I used to be like, I really want to do that with my mind, the way Matilda does it. And my mom was like, you can. It's totally in your mind. You can totally do it. Knowing who you are and knowing what you could do what Matilda does. And I'm like, I know, I just need to open my mind a little bit farther, and maybe it could happen one day, which maybe it still could. So hopefully one day I might be able to do what Matilda does, August Rush, definitely an indigo from August Rush. Avatar: The Last Airbender, definitely an indigo, total indigo kid. And I really do wish that there could be a real avatar out there in the world to save us, especially right now because things are scary. But Avatar: The Last Airbender, Aang was definitely an indigo kid, and all the waterbenders and airbenders, earthbenders, firebenders, like everybody was indigos in that show, and I really appreciate that. And by the way, Avatar: The Last Airbender, probably one of my favorite shows. Go check it out if you haven't. I don't know why you wouldn't have, but go check it out if you haven't. It's incredible. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about what indigos are, who they are, and what that means to me. So I will link my blog post that I wrote on indigos a while back in the description box below, and I will link my spirituality video that I did recently. I will link it in the description box below, and it'll also be up top. And I will catch you guys on the flippity flop. I hope this video really helped to intrigue you and more into what indigos are. And if you would like more information about indigos or are curious about more things dealing with indigos, please do not hesitate to comment down below. And I hope you're having an amazing 2017. And I will catch you next time. Okay? Peace and blessings.